Ooh, folks, boy, do I have a juicy update for you guys today. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name's Caleb. I run a video game buyback website, which used to be called OneUp, but as of 5 days ago, we just switched our name to Quick Flips. And I want to talk to you guys about the real reasons why I decided to make such a drastic change to our business. But before I do that, I wanted to give you a couple of updates for anyone who may already be signed up to sell to us that I think you'll find very interesting. The first one is our partner buyer, Sosa Games, who buys all of the consoles and controllers that we have offer prices on through our website. They expanded the number of consoles and controllers that they have offers on dramatically this month. At this point now you can sell all kinds of like special color variants of controllers. You can sell special edition consoles like, the Halo edition Xbox 360. You can sell Wavebird controllers, tons more stuff available there. So we're really stoked about that. The second big update is we just dramatically reduced the kinds of deductions that we will be making on incoming batches when people sell us a batch full of games like these, not these exact ones. I don't think we currently have offers on Go Hypergrind just yet. Spoiler alert, maybe something coming for that in the future. But the big update that we did make is we used to make deductions anytime a disc had like moderate to heavy scratching on it. That is no longer the case. We are now offering completely free resurfacing for every game for the same offer price that you see on our site. One bit of feedback that we got from regular users is, hey, it kind of feels like you're nickel and diming us with these deductions. Like, could you just build these into the prices so that I don't see a whole bunch of minus signs on my invoice when I actually get the payment? So we took that feedback to heart. One huge thing that has been key for me in building up OneUp / now Quick Flips, that's going to be a hard habit to break now that I've been calling it OneUp for like a year and a half on social media. One thing that we have been very consistent with from the beginning of Quick Flips is listening to our users. And so I actually said, not only are we going to offer free resurfacing now, but I'll do you one better. We're also not going to be deducting any more for chargers, for handhelds rather, that don't have their chargers, or if there are a small number of cases in a given batch that need to be replaced. Maybe they have chipped plastic or they have excessive stickering. As long as it's a reasonable number, we're not going to be charging for those either. So going forward, you guys are going to see significantly fewer deductions on batches, but please do make sure to still ensure everything that you're sending is tested and good to go, because we will still be testing everything, and obviously we'll have to make full deductions if we get games that just plain don't work. So that said, the actual topic of today's video, why the heck, after more than a year, would I change the name of this website? And the reason is I was recently reading this marketing book called Positioning, and I had two big takeaways from it. The first one is that it is really important when you are in business, and especially if you're a small business, to have part of what your value proposition is and how you're differentiated from competitors present in the name itself. And I was thinking about our name, OneUp, and just like, man, that doesn't really check that box. And the other big learning was that usually when a business has a bad name, it takes them way too long to change it because of all the bureaucracy and headaches that are involved. And I was like, man, I really don't want to be guilty of that. I feel like if we're ever going to do it, now is a good time, being only 1-ish year in to having launched this product. It's probably going to be additionally confusing that I have this on here the whole time. Like, oh yeah, let's go into cool kid mode. By the way, some of you guys may be noticing that I recently got a new camera that automatically tracks my face as I move, which I'm having altogether far too much fun with. Hopefully it's not too distracting in this video. I'm going to take a look at the footage and see how I like it. But there were a few other factors as well that sort of made me start to lean in the direction of maybe we do need to make this change. One is we had a huge domain problem. Our old domain was one-up.app, which not only is incredibly hard to remember, and you shouldn't have like fancy punctuation really in a URL if you can help it anyway, but people they didn't know if like the word one was spelled out or if it was numerical. And it was confusing in multiple ways. They'd be like, wait, .app, is this, so should I be going to the app store? Or like, why, like, what is a web app? Why are you calling it that? It was confusing in so many ways. Our new domain is myquickflips.com, which by the way is where you can go if you want to get fast, easy cash for your games. And like, even just saying it right now, it's just so much, like, it's not close how much better of a name that is. This is really, this whole, I'm getting insecure about my hairline looking at the viewfinder down here. Boy, that is a really big, like, there's just no trace of hair right here anymore. How far back do, oh geez, yeah, that's ugly. Here's the hairline update, everyone, by the way. I've been like I've been going in and out of going capless, but boy, I've been thinking more and more recently about life as a bald man. It's coming. I just know it is. Maybe I should just embrace it and not really wear hats anymore. Let me know what you think. What's your advice? For now, I'll keep the confusing. My new hat hasn't arrived in the mail yet, although I do have one coming. The last consideration that I was thinking about, and man, do I want to go through the headache to rename this business, was actually a couple things. One, we're less likely to run into any kind of copyright issues down the road since there are tons of other businesses that are called OneUp, right? There's OneUp game stores, there's OneUp arcade cabinet manufacturers. There's just a lot of other OneUp businesses. There are not a lot of Quick Flips businesses, believe it or not. And then the last one is just, I love that Quick Flip can be used as a verb, right? You can't really say, oh, I've got this copy of Go-Go Hypergrind. I don't know if I should sell it on eBay or just one-up it. But you can say, oh, maybe I'll just Quick Flip it. And I think that long-term that actually has really good implications just in terms of how easy it is to tell someone about what we do. So for all of those reasons, I decided to pull the trigger and say, all right, we can do away with the old name of OneUp, which was a little bit more vague than I'd really like, a little bit, the URL was terrible. And the other thing that I kept thinking about, which I recently said in our newsletter that goes out every month to Quick Flips users, is when I started this software, I didn't actually realize what it was going to be. I thought at first that it would be a price checking software so that video game flippers could see like price data from multiple platforms at once. I didn't even realize it was going to be a buyback website. So now that I have a clearer idea of what this service actually is, I feel really confident in saying Quick Flips is absolutely a superior name. It's really not close. And actually the thing that I've been surprised about, I expected a lot of pushback because, change is scary. People in general don't like change. But pretty much without exception, everyone I've told that I'm thinking about changing it from OneUp to Quick Flips are just like, oh yeah, that's a better name. Like, I think people who understand what it is are very quick to come on board. So that's been very encouraging. The kind of things that have needed to be changed to make that kind of a pivot happen, we had to, of course, change the domain. Legal documents had to be changed, website text all over, and the spell out of the logo with the OneUp like this, those all had to be changed. That's kind of obvious. Our text in emails that we regularly send out to people with like batch confirmations and things like that had to be changed. And then our emails themselves also had to be updated, which we also had to do for our partner buyer, Sosa. And it took about a month to get all of that stuff in place. That's what I was, a large chunk of the special projects that I was working on throughout October. And now it is in place and I feel really good about it. I'm curious to hear, this is definitely a niche business discussion. Sorry if it was boring for some of you guys, but I promised myself when I started this channel that whatever I happen to be interested in the business world, I'm just gonna talk about that and not really care, because that is what this channel is for. Hopefully there are a few other business owners out there that found it interesting. I think in the next one, I'm gonna give an honest update on Quick Flips in general and talk about some of the numbers that we have been seeing, whether or not we've been able to achieve profitability in the last few months, and maybe also give a little bit of a teaser for where we're headed in the future. So stay tuned for that.